right? That's why I'm still doing it. Like I said, I don't race for results or trophies or even money really these days. It's just I love riding my bike. I love the time I get. If I can go find an hour and get some sprints in, like that's the best medicine I could ask for.
Welcome back to the BMXPERTS Podcast. We got a special guest tonight because we're going to jump up a few decades tonight, man. We got Nick Long on, so I'm super stoked. Nick is a current vet pro, making things happen. I think Nick, I'm pulling for you for the title this year. By the way, my dude, I think you can do it.
I mean, I wouldn't put any money on it. That's not a goal of mine. So if it happens, it happens. But I'm not chasing anything.
All right, Factory Huffy, Nick, it's a pleasure having you on. We're just going to ask you some basic questions, have some open dialogue with you. We're going to play a little bit of trivia today. Now, we haven't played with somebody as young as you, so I've gone 2001, 2002, 2003. So hopefully that's okay for you.
Yeah, that should be sweet.
Yeah, I didn't want to go.
Our first youngster edition.
I didn't want to go in 1983, and he's going to be like,
I still wasn't born.
Yeah.
Hey Nick, you said winning the title wasn't one of your priorities.
No.
I don't know if that's refreshing, surprising, or what, man. But I would think that every racer, no matter what race they get in, they want the title, man. So that's kind of interesting that you said that.
Yeah, I don't really know how to explain it. I'll say I'm competitive, like against myself. Like obviously, if you see any of my YouTube, or not YouTube, but my Instagram videos or anything like that. Like I love challenging myself and chasing my sprint times, or beating my gate times or whatever. If I was doing a full lap and saw my time, I'd want to beat it the next time. But to have the pressure of wanting to, or how do I say it? Like the title doesn't mean anything to me, but I know how much it means to a lot of other people because they ask me all the time about it. So, that's kind of how my whole career was. I mean, I wouldn't have made it as far as I did, in my career, if I wouldn't have had the people that put the pressure on me, right? Because to me, it wouldn't have mattered. I didn't care if I got 4th or 5th place. But I knew I needed to do well at, some events or certain events to make it, as far as I was hoping to. But a title has never really been a thing for me, I don't think. Wow. I mean, the AM title was cool when I was a kid, but I don't know if there was ever a season, even in AA, where I was like, this is the one, like I'm going for the title this year. It was kind of just like, prepare myself for every race coming up, and that's all I can do,
Danny, this is the first, dude. First I've ever heard this, man. It kind of like me. That's kind of how I race. I never even thought about it, man. I just got up on the gate and tried to win. I never really got it. I never ever got any thought about it that much. That's interesting.
I think with Nick, because Nick has a huge fan base, so I think there's more pressure on the fans to wanting to see him hit that title than Nick probably putting in his mind. Because Nick, you were racing on flats up until last year or this year, and so you kicked it into gear in the grands, and you were looks like you put the clips on, and you really were hauling ass at the grands. And I'm like, whoa, where's Nick coming from? Because I thought it was going to be all Jeff Upshaw and Barry, and I know Barry was coming off the injury, but man, you were putting it down at the Grand. So it's like you have another gear.
And it just comes down to, the time I had preparation. Like, I not a brag, but if I had time to put in the effort, I would show up fast every race. But there's a lot that I do where, I show that I'm at tracks almost every day or relatively close, but I don't actually get to ride a lot of the time. I coach and I teach, and during my clinics, I might demonstrate like a box sprint or how to go around the turn, but I don't do any riding. So depending on how tight the schedule is or when the races are, like, sometimes I go a couple weeks without being able to get sprints in or anything. And I don't do any gym myself, mostly just because I don't want to and I don't like to. So it's really just sprints and riding the track for me. So like I said, sometimes just between driving and I work full time for Huffy, so I'm always kind of on the clock in some essence. Sometimes I get to be prepared for the race, and sometimes I don't. So like I said, I just try to be as prepared as I possibly can. But At the end of the day, I don't care if
Yeah,
I don't care if I get first or fifth place, but I like knowing, like, I like not, let's say, I had an issue a couple races last year, like at Tulsa and Texas, not because of my performance, but because I didn't like
Mhm.
the way that I was personally riding. I felt like I'm I don't really like asphalt turns. I never have. On the
Really?
West Coast, we always had dirt tracks, so I just never got comfortable in asphalt turns as long as I've ever been racing. So I guess when it, specifically came, I mean, anytime really, but I was able to push through a little bit more in double A and elite. But in vet, where it's like, I don't need to win, or I don't need to do anything more than what I'm already doing. And, in my work and my coaching and my traveling for the clinics, like winning's just a bonus, right? But if I could, show up and interact with the riders and support the fans that support me, then, that's a win in my book. And that's going to, keep not necessarily the spotlight, but it's going to help people not forget who I am at the end of the day.
Man, I hear you, dude. Like for those that aren't 100% really familiar with what you do, you wear a lot of hats, bro. I mean, could you run through what you do in a week? I mean, your clinics, your teaching, your responsibilities with Huffy racing. I mean, does it ever get too much, overwhelming, or do you manage it pretty well? What exactly do you do every week?
Great question, Kevin. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the clock.
I get one good question every episode, and that was it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it depends on where I'm at or what the schedule is. So let's say tomorrow. So I've been parked here on my family farm for the last week or so since Houston. So it's been pretty calm, right? Where I got to be online for working, between 7 and 4 because of the timeout or time difference here. I usually got something I'm working on in the motorhome. I had to replace my door handle because I locked myself out recently. But no, I did 2 clinics over the weekend. One at the Shreveport track, which I hadn't been to before. I did another camp at Twin City BMX in Louisiana yesterday. And then I manage, a lot of the social media stuff for Huffy. I got to interact and work with all the riders that I have, both freestyle and race riders, and everything that goes on behind the scenes with that as far as going jerseys and team swag and just that kind of stuff, as well as, organizing ahead. So I got clinics coming up and, make sure I got everything, like I said, my swag or stickers and stuff to make the goodie bags. I hand make my goodie bags for every clinic.
Right.
Well,
I don't do any
are you a one-man show at Huffy, or as managing the teams, or do you have a staff behind you helping you, man?
So I'm the BMX manager. That's team manager, brand manager. It's a worldwide corporation, but so yeah, there's a small team of BMX specific people at Huffy. Yeah, not a huge amount. More actually, I guess the only people with BMX titles are just me, myself, and Mike Gons, and then we have the marketing team, all that kind of stuff that kind of universal, but focus on different projects when we're going on.
Dude, man,
I got a question going back to the clinics really quick, if you don't mind. So, what makes a great clinic, and then what's your goal when you're doing a clinic?
Good question, Danny.
What's my goal? My goal is to make sure that the parents don't feel like I'm wasting their time and that their kids aren't just hanging out with Nick Long. So I mean, I do a minimum 3-hour clinic. I have 3 different routines, which is either like a whole shot workshop, which is just like sprint training, and then basically 2 hours of gates with film review. And so, there's different aspects of whatever one you choose. But yeah, there's almost, I mean, if you ask anybody who's been to one of my clinics, I get a lot of people that come back to them over and over throughout the season. And most of the time the clinics are the same routine over and over. But I think what I do a good job at is keeping the riders' attention, keeping them focused, keeping them, moving the whole time. So, at the end of the day, for whether you're trying to learn something as like a 1720 expert, you could come there and pick my brain. Or if you just drop your 6-year-old novice off and be like, hey, have a good time, like they're going to go home stoked every time. And, depending on who the rider is, they're going to, ask that level of question. So if I have a 7-year-old intermediate, they have a different question set than, a 1720 or a 16 expert, or even an adult. Like I love having 45 and over adults, whatever, just starting racing or who have been racing for a long time, or ex-pros they'll show up and just be like, I want to see what your clinic's all about. And, nobody's ever going to say anything bad to my face, but I've never heard anything bad or unsatisfied, customer. And like I said, I get a lot of them that keep coming back, even though they know that the routine's relatively the same most of the time. But yeah, I feel like my job for a clinic is teaching or showing a rider, how to keep the riders behind them that they're ahead. I'm not going to make a rider faster in the 3 hours that I'm spending with them, but if I can help them understand a few things on how to keep the riders that they're already beating behind them and why they're getting past and how to not get past, as well as, obviously a couple tips on the gate from my experiences. I got a couple Olympic stories that I share throughout the training. So I don't spend a lot of actually any time, to be honest, doing any jumping or manualing in my clinics. Like I said, sometimes I'll get a 5-6-year-old kid who doesn't have enough speed to do anything on the track, or I'll get a 50, 60. I've had Miss Kitty in my clinics before, and they're not going to do that, right? So I'm not going to waste those people's time for 15, 20 minutes and be like, well, I'm not going to do that, right? And all I'm going to do is like, that was a good manual. That was a good jump, buddy. Like, keep the front tire up. So in my opinion, jumping and manualing is all kind of stuff you either learn in a small group, right? Private thing, or really just with your friends. Like if you want to go learn, that's how you learn. You got to ride with your buddies after racing or before practice, but you're not going to get better if you don't put in the time, right? Same with jumping in, or just manually. If you go manual on the street, like couple parking spaces at a time, blah blah blah, you're going to get better on the track. You're not going to have to ask like, oh, how do I manual, coach? Like you kind of figure it out, right? But you have to have the drive. You understand?
I think that's so cool because did I interrupt you, Danny?
Go ahead. Go.
I think that's so cool because from my perspective, I'm coming back in from I'm getting back on the track in the next couple of weeks, Nick, and for 58 beginner, right? And I would think that there would be guys my age or experts or intermediates, whatever the case, that think that they may think that they're past being in a clinic or being mentored or whatever. So I think that's cool that people actually recognize that they need help or that they could improve their game and their track time and approach you and learn from someone like yourself. So I just think that's really cool. I just assume, it's just my picture in my mind. It's a 6, 7, 8-year-old beginners, the first time on the track, and that's the clinic. But apparently from what you're saying, that's not the case at all.
No, not at all. And like I said, I honestly love having the adults come because they're there for the right reason. They're asking the right questions like, hey, how do I get better? Why is my front wheel dropping right here on the second pedal? And I could break it down and they explain it to them, but they're able to ask the right questions where, the 6 to 10-year-olds, they don't really have the right questions. They're mostly like raising their hand and telling me, I crashed in that second turn and I broke my wrist last week. And it's like, well, okay, Timmy, we're not talking about your stories. We got to tell these 30 kids how to get better at riding. So, I think what I really do a good job at is just keeping everybody focused. I have a really good ability to keep the group controlled, whether that's with the tone of my voice or, it's probably just the tone of my voice, to be honest with you.
There's a lot to be said about that, Nick, because like my kids are all grown up, but they all played Little League, and you could tell like they weren't really into racing, but they all played baseball and stuff like that. And you can always tell the coach that's got control of the kids and the coach that doesn't. Yeah. And it really, I don't want to say be like that authority person, but you kind of need to be in some cases so that they're respected, like, hey, pay attention, stop wasting time, blah, blah, blah. A lot of the coaches were afraid to say that to the kids because they didn't want to offend the parents. How do you overcome that? How do you keep them like on track?
I honestly, I think the way I'm really loud, not mean, but I'm like stern and I'm yelling a lot of the clinics. I mean, it's not like I demand respect, but I'm also like, I'm affirmative and I'm, I start off the clinic by, introducing myself, saying like, hey, when I ask questions, like lots of loud yes and no's, I make sure they say it back to me. And I'm like, that was weak, say it again, but and so it's just I think it's just kind of my demeanor, right? Like, I'm not there like, hey, let's have a good time. Like, let's go hang out, right? It's like your parents paid $30, $50 or $75 for this training session. Like, I want them to be like, man, Nick was on it. Like Nick I see my kids getting better. He helped him, I saw him working with my rider the whole, not the whole time, but like he worked on him, he helped him, he made him understand, right? So at the end of the day, I gotta make the parents happy, or the older riders who are coming to the clinic. I gotta be able to talk to them well enough to where they're understanding and they're grasping something that I'm explaining through the clinic. If somebody doesn't take anything from the clinic, then I feel like I did a bad job. But I've yet to do that as far as I've seen.
Yeah, dude.
Do you see value in the beginner leagues? Me and Kevin were talking about that a couple weeks back, maybe a couple months ago now, Kev. But we were talking about like the beginner league, or I guess I call it the BMX league. Do you see value in that? If you do, how do you think we can continue to make that grow? Because I know it was working for Donnie to a certain extent, but I don't think it's spread out enough. But how do you feel about that?
I actually hadn't seen a lot about it. I went to. It was funny. The first time I'd seen BMX league, besides any of I did a couple advanced leagues with Tyler Brown at Chula back in the day. So those were fun. We were kind of like competing teams against other coaches, right? But the beginner league, I really didn't understand what it was about until I did a clinic in Spokane. I think the track's called Cherry Hill, I believe. Anyways, I just got there like a day early, and they're like, "Oh, we're doing our beginner league." So I kind of just got out there and offered my help and just was hanging out. But I got to see how they encourage the parents to interact and volunteer and help them understand it. So I thought that was really cool. I thought it was more just all right, drop your kids off, they go ride for an hour and a half, they do a kind of mock race at the end, and then they go home. But there was a lot more to it that was really useful and cool that I didn't realize was there. And then I'd helped out at Donnie's, the original race league innovator, Donnie. So I did it at his track, the North Bay BMX. I've helped him twice out, and same thing. Besides Donnie just being incredible at how he hosts it, he runs his camps like I run my clinics, but he's even funnier than I am. Maybe, I don't know why, probably just because I've known him forever. But he's got a playlist that goes along we're in the sections, he'll line the rad song into all right, we're getting into it. Just so much thought put into it. So I think it takes that. I think it takes kind of a special individual or a special group of, really tight-knit volunteers that actually are interested in helping and putting it together the right way. And, and kind of selling it, right? You gotta make BMX cool, right? Because it's intimidating a lot of the time, or there's mean bully kids or whatever it is. But if you're just sharing the passion of riding your bike, you can block all that out and just go enjoy it, right? That's why I'm still doing it. Like I said, I don't race for results or trophies or even money really these days. It's just, I love riding my bike. I love the time I get, if I can go find an hour and get some sprints in, that's the best medicine I could ask for.
Right on. With the way the money situation is right now for the pros, I know you're investing a lot of time and energy to try to get more money to the pros. What do you think if you had a magic wand and you could fix this money situation, what would you do? What would you change?
I'd probably ask for 10 to 20 more people like me who are willing to put in the work to help raise the money. It's hard to say. I'm not here to poke at the sanction or anything. I think they do a great job at giving us all the platform to, perform, as well as make a brand of ourselves and make money that way, whether it be through clinics or merchandise or coaching or however it is. At the end of the day, USA BMX is a for-profit business, and the pros don't make them a lot of money. What do we have? Maybe 100 riders total at the event. They're not making any money off us. So we can bitch and complain and cry about it or not race one day because they're only giving us $200. But really our job is to entertain those other kids and sell the passion that it takes to take it as far as we have. Right. So yeah, money is great. And it does help the world go around, and it helps you stay in the sport a little longer, but there's other ways to do it. It's hard to, blame the sanction for anything, especially when there's only one and they don't need us. You know what I mean?
When you said entertain, to me, that's a really key statement, because in the 80s, 90s, me and Kevin are older, obviously, but going to a national, one of the biggest carrots for me to go to a national is to actually see the pros race. That was That was almost as fun to me, Nick, than actually racing. Because, I wasn't a national rider. I was a local guy. So to
Yeah.
go to a national was like maybe 2, 3 a year if I'm lucky. And so when I would get to a national and I'd get to see some of my heroes on the gate racing, I thought that was super fantastic, man. I remember everybody lining up on the fence line just to watch the pros go.
Yeah.
And I'm actually, dude, I'm still like that. I mean, when the Grand televises, I was like, hell yeah, time to watch the Pro Spectacular. I get super pumped up, like it's an NBA or NFL event for me. But that's, I think, kind of the key element when there's only so many Pro Series races now, which I thought is kind of a bummer. Because going to a national's fun, but if there's no pro racing, it's kind of like deflating a little bit. I'd love to see pro races. I don't know. The Pro Open idea wasn't a horrible idea. At least people showed up and raced. I don't know what the motivation was behind that. To limit it. Was it for the safety for you guys? Because it wouldn't be so demanding to be at so many races a year.
I don't know. I'm not sure why they changed it to a pro series. I kind of think it'd be cool to just make every race a pro race. But there was a time. I think it's maybe like when you got to guarantee a purse for a pro race, right? And then only 6 people show up, and they're like, "Well, that cost us $5 extra grand. Then why would we do that?" You know what I mean?
Right.
But I do think it would be cool to have that option to have those. Maybe not have a guaranteed purse, but like when you get a certain amount of riders, then you get a guaranteed purse up until that. Like, sure, you can still race. Sure, these points still go towards your grands. But then you'd have a lot more riders that would be willing to turn pro, because the way it works now is like you have to travel only to these races. And like but there's in some locations, like you might live in an area where there's 6 to 8 nationals around you, but not a single one of them is a pro race, right? So you're like, fuck, now I got to travel 12 hours to go to Tulsa or something, right? Like,
yeah.
So then it's like, well, I could just do 8 nationals, right? Within 5 or 6 hours, get nag points and go race the grands and be up for a title, right? But it's just a lot more demanding for, to commit to the full pro series. That's why our vet pro class usually remains pretty small, because the guys in our classes, have families and married and kids, and it's a harder commitment when you're racing for $300, $300 to $500 maybe. It's not always the risk. It's just like, well, I got to take off Thursday and Friday to make it to the race Friday. That's costing money.
Yeah.
It's hard to do, unless you've built how do I say without offending anybody? Like, there's a handful of, and I'm not saying it to be mean, because everybody can do it, but you're not going to be as successful as, say, riders like myself, Jeff, Barry. There might be a couple other ones but like we've built, I've been racing for 29 years. I've got a almost 20 year pro career where I've made a name for myself, where it's and I'm a two-time Olympian. So like I could just put on like, hey, I'm coming a clinic to your, at your local track, 2-time Olympian, and more than likely somebody's going to show up, right? Just to see like what an Olympian has to say, right? So but I earned that, right? And I hate making it sound like I'm bragging, but like I spent my whole career earning that. So now it doesn't really matter to go win Vet Pro to get $300, because I can do, if I plan it out correctly, I could do 4 or 5 clinics on the way to the race, because I live full time in my motorhome, because the way the races are, like I wouldn't get to spend any time at home. My wife and daughter would be there. I would never get to see them. So we're almost at 5 years full time on the road. I get to do everything with my family the whole time. I get to work with them the whole time. And even better, I get to show up to the races and not stress myself out about having to get first place, because I got to fill up the gas tank to go to the next race.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nick, you said something interesting, dude, and I want to delve into that a little bit. You said earlier that they don't need you. Were you talking about vet pros or AA pro or both?
I mean, realistically, they don't. I mean, USA BMX doesn't need any pros. In my opinion, they're not making any money off of us. Like, I mean, we're costing them more money more times than not. Like, they just had to cut the girl pros Supercross pay in half, because they don't get enough riders at it, so they're not guaranteed X amount until they get certain amount of riders. So I mean,
I'm sorry, Nick, I want to make sure I understand this. Are you saying because there's not that many pros racing signing up, or are you saying of the money that they're paying the pro purses, doesn't equal the amount of pros that have signed up to race.
I'm saying USA BM, in my opinion, USA BMX there's not a huge need for the pros. That's why they don't pay us what we want or what the AA's think they deserve, right? Or what I felt like I deserved when I raced AA Pro. We don't make the sanction much money. Their money is made by the 95% other amateur riders that show up to the races, to the family members that, if they're getting kickbacks from hotels because the families are coming to the events, or however it all works. I don't know how it all works behind the scenes. That's not my job, and that's not something I look into. Like I said,
Sure.
USA BMX does a great job at providing the platform for all of us to succeed, right? But in my opinion, I don't feel like they need us, because if they did, then they would probably pay us a little better, right? Or they would have a problem with us, like, well, we're not going to that race, or because I might have spiraled off on that one a little bit. I don't know what I was trying to say.
I think it would be I don't know. I think that they would want to have pros that appreciate pros. Like Danny said, regular kids come in, they want to see their favorite pro, their favorite Olympic rider. And that would be a draw, but apparently not as big as I would have thought.
And I would think it is too, but I don't think it is. I don't think it actually is. Like,
Okay.
I don't think people are like, oh, the pros are going to that race, we're going to that race. I think it's more so like, no, this national is close, we could get our scores here. Or it even comes down to people being like, oh, my birthday's 2 months, I got to plan for what races I can get in before my birthday. So, I mean, the pros are just a bonus for the people that do show up to the event. I don't think there's very many people that are like, we got to go, we're watching the pro series. Like, nobody's following points like they do for Supercross, right? Like, and I don't know what'll make us. I don't know what'll get us there. I don't have the answers.
Your entire career, has it always been like that since you were pro, or at some point did it change, or was it 80s, 90s, 2000s? Was it always the same, or did it change at one point?
I mean, I didn't officially turned pro till 2009, so I can't say anything before that.
It was since then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything changed. I feel like it's almost relatively been the same. I think when there was 2 sanctions, there might have been a good reason for, like, hey, pros, come to our event because we're paying $5,000 for this race, right? Then you can kind of sell it and make more people come to your event. But then that probably just showed us the same thing too. Like, we asked all these pros to come here, but our actual national numbers didn't get any bigger. So why are we spending more money on the pros? We didn't make any money from, selling the pros that were going to be at this event. That might have been the reason why they made whatever it is, 10 pro races. They're like, all right, we're going to like sell these. Are going to be like the big races. Like, everybody's going to show up at these ones. The other ones are going to kind of be like regionals. And I just don't think it panned out like that. So I think, we just kind of have these are pro races and these are not pro races. And if you want to race pro, you have to commit to going to these ones, and it's going to be a shitty travel schedule. Like, you're going to be in Phoenix this weekend, then Florida next weekend, and good luck getting there and saving money.
Crap.
When you go to a national, what races? Who do you like to watch race? Is there a certain class or age group that you say, oh, I'd like to check these guys out?
Guys, it's Danny Pena over from the BMXPERTS Podcast. I'm excited to announce a little partnership we got going on with SkewedRacewear.com with Cindy Partee. Cindy put together the race kits for us that we're going to debut out in Dirty Fest. They look really, really cool. We should be getting those pretty soon. As you can see, here's some examples of what Cindy can do. Now, the cool thing about this is you can get a full-on race kit for about $195. Now, I know there's some great options out there with Troy Lee and, of course, Fly and things like that. But remember, you're going to spend over $200, $250, and you're going to get a blank slate. With Cindy, you can basically tell her exactly what you want. You can put the logos where you want. You can put your name where you want, numbers on the back, fully custom colors, any design you want. We're really, really excited. As you can see, some of the Send It crews already rocking that apparel. So I'm looking forward to getting the kit. If you guys are interested in this, again, it's www.skewedраcewear.com. Reach out to Cindy and she'll get you all hooked up. Thanks a lot, guys.
Is it 17X? Is it the little kids? Is it the old guys? Do you have a favorite class of racer that you like to watch?
I typically watch almost all the mains when I'm there. The experts are always awesome. Just, I mean, especially in my position as a team manager that I've been in the last couple of years, I'm watching for talent. I want to see who who's getting lucky at the races, who's been putting in the work, who's actually getting better, who's, who wants to take it as far as I have, who wants to make it as far as Barry has, who wants to actually make it that far, who's playing this like Little League, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm a huge fan of the sport as well as a racer. But that's all class, not all classes. I can't say that because cruisers to me are just funny. That's kind of like the weekend. That's like joining a bowling league. Like there's no cruiser in the Olympics. It's kind of like a for fun class. Open. I feel like has a kind of a purpose. You can race an older age group, get prepared for the next class you're racing. And I mean, I'm a fan of the novice and intermediates too because I was there and more oftentimes than not, especially the guys who got work on Monday, they're flooring it way more than they should, and they put on a hell of a show. So. I mean, across the board, I'm a fan for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel the same way, man. It's like it's hard not to get excited watching you guys ride. Like I was watching some of your videos today. I was watching Barry's, and I'm like, God, I want to go ride my bike. That's how much you guys get me pumped up, and I know I'm not alone on that.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's what our job is, right? That's why some of us get paid from companies to do this, right? Because we put on not the illusion, but we're showing like, hey, we really love this. Like, you guys should love it as much as we do, right? And we're not necessarily selling it. It is our job to sell it, in some sense. But I just love the sport. I love riding my bike. Like I said, it's medicine to me. So if I could share that enough riders at my clinics that like, hey, man, it's not that bad. You could just go ride your bike and like not listen to anybody else. Like that's what I feel my job is. I'm just sharing the message of why I enjoy this sport and why I've continued on with it as long as I have.
Good.
I got a good question. I've been holding on to this one, Kev. So 2016 Olympics, I think you had a great, was that the one you got the whole shot in? Is that the one, 2016? Am I right?
Yeah.
It wasn't 2020, was it?
No, I did 2012 and 2016.
Anyway, man. Yeah, so I'm watching the 2016 Olympics. I'll never forget it, Nick. It's like it already happened, but I was avoiding social media and everything because I didn't want to know what happened. I wanted to watch it like it was live. And, man, you got the whole shot. Dude, I jumped out of my seat. I'm like, Nixon first. And then I guess Connor settled in behind you, right? And I know Connor, he wasn't going to let go of you. I knew that was coming. I go, he's going to try to pass him. I was just hoping he wasn't going to knock you down at any time. I seen you bobble a little bit on one section, and I think that's when you fell back into third and ultimately got nicked at the line. Can you kind of break down that race for us a little bit? Because I'm watching it from a fan perspective, not Nick Long's perspective. Because, dude, I was yelling at my TV for you, if that makes you feel good at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to explain it as halfway as good as I did. I have a documentary on YouTube that explains it really well and shows you video and everything.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah, that one, it's called Mile Marker 64. It came out in 24. Into 24, we premiered it at Grants. But yeah, I whole shot the final. Came around first turn, second straight, berm jump. Me and Connor kind of hit on the second straight, the second obstacle, which just gave me a little bit more room. I had plenty of room. Came into the second turn. It was a right-hand turn. I'm right foot forward. I went into the turn, level foot. I went to grab a pedal. I hit my pedal on the ground. So my wheel, I had crashed earlier at the Manchester World Cup previously that year, the beginning of that year.
Yeah.
By hitting my pedal on the ground, flipping over the bars. So I was timid of it in the first turn. And when to go back a little bit, I get in the first turn, I land the triple, and I'm like, oh, shit, all right, whole shot. And I'm just telling, because in that first turn there, it kind of had like I don't know if you look back at it, there was kind of like, so, it entered the same way, but then there was like a hump because there was a girls straightaway and the men straightaway. So I was really concerned about hitting my pedal on that hump, like starting to pedal too early. And so I'm like going, I'm like, wait, go. And like, I could see the point, and I know, I could watch the video and be like, I audibly was like, go, like, get on the gas. And then shit, I hit my pedal in the second turn. But yeah, so I kind of panicked for a second. You can see it in the video. My back tire, I hit on the ground, I hop it, and I'm a split second from grabbing my brake because I didn't think I'm going to make the gigantic step up out of turn 2. And so at that point, I just kind of, I went for it. I cased it a little bit, and then I just rode in the middle of the track. Then I continued to just ride that straight away like I had full speed, but I was only at like 80% speed. So Connor just went by me on the inside. Jelly went behind me on the inside. Raced hard as I could to the finish line and I tied for 3rd. So when I passed the line, it said photo finish. I was on top, and then Carlos was 4th. And then it just kind of cut out until they announced it. But we were, I think it was 4,000ths apart, which it was a bummer. Obviously, like getting the medal would have been cool, especially whole shot. But what was a bummer was I think we were only one of 2 sports that went to the 1,000th. Like swimming, I think they only go to the 100th, so that's why they'll give like 2 bronze medals or 2 silvers and stuff like that. I could be wrong, but that's what I was told. That we were one of only like 2 that went to the 1,000th, and so I lost it by 4,000ths.
Oh, I thought you had it. Like there was a big pause. I go, he got bronze, right? I remember.
Yeah, the feed, the live feed that everybody was watching, because I got 1,000 messages like, like. And I'm like, no, I got 4th, man. They're like, well, when the TV shut off, it said you're in 3rd, and I'm like.
Yeah,
like people had to like delete tweets and everything. I'm like, no, I got fucking 4th.
There was a clip. I think it was at the USA BMX headquarters, and I was watching. Everybody was like in this conference room watching the race, and they were all jumping up and screaming and yelling. And I go, man, I would love to have been in that room. If I wasn't at the Olympics, I would have loved to have been in that room at USA BMX because we had 2 Americans out in front. So. It was awesome, man. I mean, I still think you did great, dude. Don't get me wrong. How did you feel in the qualifying rounds? Did you feel confident? Like, I might be able to do this? Or were you just keeping a cool head? What was going on there?
I've said this in interviews before too, but I don't know if there's ever been a race where in pro, I don't think there's ever been a race where I showed up and I was like, oh yeah, I'm winning today. Like I never had that feeling. Like I said, I kind of would just, just be as prepared as I could be, and just kind of go through my little checklist, drive through, pull the back foot out of the gate, and it was just kind of one step at a time from there. All I can control was hopefully carrying my wheel to the kink, getting all the right pedals down the hill, 1 jump, 2 jump turns. Like I was kind of methodical in my approach to a lot of it, just like 1 step at a time, and when you mess up you understand where you messed up. And so I mean I never needed to watch much footage or anything. I'm like, well, that's where I fucked up. I know exactly what happened. So I went through that day. If you watch back in the videos, I think I was just pretty calm. Well, let me take it back. The first day time trials, actually even before that practice day, I ate shit. I don't know if you've seen that video, but I front flipped the first jump on accident, pedaled through the transition, did a big front flip, exploded, was fine. But then I got to time trial day, and I didn't realize that I was ranked number 1 in like overall, and so I was last person to do the time trial, which was kind of intimidating. I forget. I think I got 7th overall, maybe I did better than that. Maybe I did 4th.
There's a lot of pressure on the time trial because you're the only one out there and everybody's just watching you. I would think there's more pressure.
You could put a lot of pressure on yourself on that, but like there was a lot of people that did. There was too many people that would explode, right? But I think it was the same thing too. Is kind of just slow it down, understand 1 jump, not get ahead of yourself, not push it too hard, because if you're going to make a mistake, you're not going to do good, right? So the goal was to just not make a mistake and go as fast as you can to not make a mistake. So it wasn't necessarily about flooring it like in a race. In a race, you can floor it and make a bobble and still move over and block somebody, but in a time trial, it's solo. You just you lose those seconds and then you're off. So I think it was just kind of I didn't practice time trials. I almost never did full laps after the time I was an amateur. So it just kind of came down to understanding your skill and what you could make mistakes on and just trying to avoid it.
Is there any advice you can give somebody, Nick? Because for all riders in general, because you said I was in first, I had the whole shot, now how do you keep yourself mentally stable? Because I can tell you as a local racer, but anytime I'm in the lead, I start to get into panic mode, like don't make a mistake. And I'm worrying so much about making a mistake that I can get swallowed up by the pack. It happened to me a ton of times. So how do you keep yourself mentally like calm? Like, I'm in the lead, just do your thing, or what do you do?
I don't know if there's anything I do specific. I kind of, I don't know. Once I'm ahead of them, then it's pretty. I just got to understand, like, block the lines, and I don't know. It really just comes down to, like, yeah, just staying calm, I guess, and telling yourself, like, or just understanding where you could make mistakes and really focusing not to make that mistake there, but doing it without, getting ahead of yourself, I guess is what it is. Because there's a lot of time where people just like, and then they're going too fast, and then they're on their head or something, right? Because somebody's pressuring them, like somebody's catching up to them, so they're like, all right, I got to go a little harder, and it's like, you can't go harder. You didn't practice that. You're going to crash. So I think it just comes down to understanding you either got to block that person quick or they're going to pass you, right? Confidence is.
Nick, Danny always asks this question, and I don't understand it, dude. Like, if I'm in the lead, I don't know, dude. I just think it's kind of funny that Danny let himself get psyched out a couple of times. And
it happens. I think it happens. It happens with a lot of guys.
Life, Danny.
I think the best thing that you could do, and maybe this is why it's something that I don't necessarily stress about. Like, I'm always thinking about, like, all right, who's behind me? Like, because you got to ride a little different depending on who's behind you, right? Like, if I got Upshaw behind me, he's riding a little bit different than Barry's riding behind me. So the longer you race, the easier it is to understand the riders you're riding with. So there's, I'm not necessarily going to panic. Like, if somebody is riding behind me that I feel like is going to hit me in the turn, I'm just going to try to position myself to where they got to go around me and take a harder line. So it's just, I guess it just comes down to understanding the riders that are in the gate next to you and or preparing beforehand. So, and you don't have to do it with 8 riders, right? Like, you're going to have a hard time finding 8 riders at your local track to practice with all the time. But if you could get one buddy to just practice with and be like, all right, hunt me down. Let's do a half lap, right? Third and fourth straightaway. You try to pass me. We'll do 5 of these. We'll alternate leading. And then you just get better on accident at that while you're practicing getting faster on the track. But if you can incorporate a buddy to do it with where has the same goal, trying to pass you, you're trying to defend, you're going to accidentally get better when you show up to the races.
That's an awesome answer. See, you had it in you, Nick. I drug it out of you. Go ahead, Kev.
Dude, hey, Nick, I'm afraid to ask another question. You're going to say, I was in my damn documentary. You should have watched it. I'm sorry.
No. I'll say it once, but now.
So I was like, man, I feel guilty. I feel like, man. See, this is our Achilles heel. We don't do enough research. But do you have a favorite Olympic memory or a story or something that that we can relate to possibly? I mean, you've been on 2 teams, I believe, right?
Yeah.
What's it like living in Olympic Village, dealing with all the other Olympians? All that stuff. How's that? I mean, are all the teams like sweating the U.S. or because the U.S. wasn't the fastest and they're not the fastest, right? What was life like as being an Olympian? If you could maybe put that into a 5-minute nutshell.
I guess I'm trying to figure out how to answer this the best way for you. Because for me, I guess it could kind of come down to the type of person you are, right? Like, I'm not the type of person where I'm gonna gawk and awe about another athlete. Like, there's no person on this planet that I would take a photo with that and then post up on my wall or use it as my screensaver. Like, I'll take a photo with my mom and dad, my grandparents, my wife. That's all I need, right? I'm not gonna go take a photo with LeBron James or see him across the cafeteria and be like, I can't even eat my food because look at the gymnasts are over there, right? Like, so I think it kind of comes down to the type of person you are. There were riders on the teams at those races that were like that. We're like, dude, like, Michael Phelps is right over there. Like, what do you mean you don't want to go see him? It's like, I don't care. Like, he's a great athlete, but he's not. I mean, unless we were on the same, had the same Ralph Lauren sponsor or something where we could interact closely. I'm not just going to go fanboy anybody. Like, so I guess it just kind of, like I said, comes down to the type of person you are and what you could potentially get distracted by. The first Olympics I went to in London was kind of like, the goal for that one. I tried making the Beijing team I was old enough to do it, but I was just young and inexperienced. I didn't get the results I needed to. I didn't make the trials for that one. So the goal for London was like, man, I just want to be an Olympian, right? So kind of when I made the team, it was like, all right, good enough. Like, I'm stoked, right? And so the whole experience was like, it's weird. Kind of, if you ask anybody, or even you will see it for the people that were interviewed in the documentary, like the Olympians that went to London were like, it's kind of a blur. It's weird. So like, I mean, I don't have very many stories from like the village. I don't have anything besides like kind of going out there and like I could tell you how my race laps went, but that's about it, honestly, from London. And Rio was a little bit different. Like Rio, I went in there more of the goal, like, all right, I need to redeem myself. I became an Olympian in London. That was awesome. You know, I got to put that on my title forever, but I was just there, right? Like I just made the team. I kind of felt like I let everybody down, even though, you know, I crashed first round. I bent my bar down. I had to put a foot down the second round. We had 5 qualifying rounds for the first day in London. So we did 3 rounds. They took the top 2 riders out, and then the 6 of us did the next 2 rounds. And so I got second and first in the last 2 rounds, and I just missed it by points, by 1 spot. And so, but it was weird. So I was like stoked that I, you know, became an Olympian, but also like, damn, like that was kind of a wash, right? Like nobody's going to be like, man, great job out there. You know what I mean? Like nobody's going to be proud of me besides more than just becoming an Olympian. So when I got home from London, I was like, I don't know. I kind of felt off. Like I didn't like what happened. So I guess the goal just kind of shifted. Like, all right, I need to make the final, right? I got to make the final for London. I got to be an Olympic finalist, like not just be an Olympian anymore. I want somebody, you know, I want to feel proud when somebody's like, man, good job. You know, like you made the finals. That was hard as hell. Like, awesome. So that was what it was. Rio for me was kind of just a redemption run. And I made it through, like I said, did well in the time trial. I kind of raced safely, and because I think I was like the 3rd or 4th heat in motos, maybe the 4th. And the first 3 races, like the first 3 motos, if you go back and watch them, was absolutely chaos. Like Maris, the Olympic champion, exploded the first round. I think Amadou Mir, like there was crashes in every single round. I think Liam Phillips crashed and got a concussion in the first lap. Like, and so I'm 4th group and I'm watching all these on the big screen like, man, these guys are fucking going crazy today. Like, we don't typically ride like this. Like all the guys that are crashing are typically the guys that are in the mains. Like, so it was weird. It was just kind of shook me a little bit. Like, man, I don't want to race like that. Like, I just got to get to the final, right? And so I probably raced a little cautious my first round and even second round. Like, all right, I got to just get a top 4. And then I think I got like I don't know, maybe a 5th and a 3rd in the first 2 quarters. And then I get to the 3rd one, like, okay, well, I think I have to win this one to make it. So I put that little bit of pressure myself. I win it. Cool. Made it to the second day of racing, which I didn't get to do the first Olympics. So I'm already ahead. I don't remember if I did anything weird that night for sleeping or eating weird. I don't think so. I was never a rider or an athlete like that.
Not superstitious.
No, not at all. Not one bit. I had some friends that were really superstitious, so it was funny being around them, but no, not superstitious at all. So day 2, same thing, kind of rode a little cautious in the first and second semi, probably like a 4th and a 3rd or something. And same thing, I had to put a little bit of pressure myself for that 3rd round, and I got a 2nd behind Anthony Dean, who hadn't lost a lap all weekend or whatever.
He's an Australian rider. He's Australian, right?
Australian, yeah. There was Sam and Anthony Dean there, and both of them had gone undefeated through their whole race days, like the whole week so far, and they hadn't raced each other till the main. So I got 2nd in my last semi. I got 3rd lane choice. So Sam had 1, or vice versa. Sam had 1, Anthony had 2, I had 3, and I was pretty confident in snapping Anthony out of the gate. He had a really good drive and sprint, but his gate, like he did a pretty low wheel. And so I carried my wheel a lot higher, therefore I could kind of go a little bit earlier on the gate. And so I would just, I was always confident, like getting next to him, that if I could get a good snap, I'd get my elbow in front of him and have him like miss a pedal. So that kind of gave me a little confidence boost. Like, all right, at least, boom, I'm in the main. I accomplished my goal. Get to the main, and I'm, I strategized a little bit. Like, cool, all right, I got third lane choice. I'm comfortable being next to Anthony. I ride with him every week at the local track. Same thing with Sam. I wasn't confident that I was going to beat Sam down the first straight, but I was like, if I could move over on Anthony, hold on, there's dog in here. Get out of here. If I could move over on Anthony out of the gate, that's going to give me a little bit of room to move around. I could maybe follow Sam into the turn. That should get me into a top 3 position in the turn. Sweet.
Yeah.
And so, all I had to do at that point was just execute a gate, right? Because if I executed a gate, I got to move over from gate 3 to 2, gave me some room to move around. Had a great gate, was able to do that. Sam cased the first jump on the triple a little bit, so it just gave me that whole inside line, and I rallied down and beat Connor to the first turn, as well as everybody else. And then, the story goes the way the story goes.
So no good stories about getting trashed with Michael Phelps at night or anything like that in Olympic Village. You're yourself.
I think nothing really. I think the coolest thing, I guess we could say, I got some cool photos from like the closing ceremonies where we're like up on stages where we shouldn't have been. There was a Olympic, I can't remember his name now. You would recognize him if you saw him. He was a fencer. He's like a light skinned black guy, like bleached his hair. He had tattoos all over. I can't remember his name, but he was like the most famous American fencer. I don't remember if he did well or not, but so I recognized him from before, just from seeing all the promo before the Olympics. He was super, he was in all the NBC ads and all that. And I somehow linked up with him, and we were like rallying a golf cart around the village. So that was about as wild as it got for us. We didn't crash nothing or damage anything. That was not my forte typically, but
Dude, that sounds like something I'd be so scared. I didn't want to get kicked out of the Olympics. I'd be like, no, I'm behaving. I don't want to do nothing crazy.
We were pretty PG.
Yeah.
At least at the Olympics. There was plenty of other races, and you'll see in the documentary where we broke it loose at plenty.
Yeah, in the documentary, Danny. Did you know he had a documentary? I didn't know.
I have a whole YouTube channel that's dedicated to BMX footage, and I'm embarrassed to say I didn't know he had that out there. So now it's like the first thing I'm going to do.
This is a huge strike on us, dude. Like,
yeah, I'm
documentary.
I'm going to clip that thing up, and so I could make some reels out of it. I was going to tell you, we had Mike Rodriguez on Crit Plates a couple months back. Man, Mike loves you, man. He said, I made a small clip out of it too, and he said, I don't care what. Yeah, I did. Yeah, he said, I don't care what Nick does, whether he stays in the sport, he's out of the sport. I'm always going to support what he does. You got a huge fan out of Mike, and he loves that you run his number plate, and he loves that you support his product. And I think that goes a lot for you, because I noticed when your thing with Haro was over, they did a whole tribute video for you. How much that they appreciated you riding for Haro. I mean, you make good connections with the people that are willing to sponsor you, and maybe that's why you got this big brand deal with Huffy. And man, those bikes look pretty awesome. And I'm going to tell you something real quick before you respond. We had a couple guys on, and we were joking around about bikes.
I knew this was coming. I knew it.
We were bikes, and every time Huffy came up, everybody was, because we think of Huffy as like Walmart, oh, Huffy this, Huffy that. But that stuff, man, it's pretty freaking awesome what they're doing. What's the whole goal with Huffy? Do you know?
Our goal is just to get more people on bikes at the end of the day. There's a big gap in our sport. It's hard to get started in our sport, right? Like, it's not like going and buying a soccer ball and some shin pads, or like, just a lot of the times people are turned away from the sport because buying a bike is $600 to $800 a lot of the time, right? And then you need everything along to go with it, and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, our job is just to get more people on bikes and introduce what two wheels can do for an individual, and we're able to supply bikes at an affordable price, and then we're going to be able to branch up and have this more elite level product that's all under the same umbrella. So you can get your entry level bike when you're a 6-year-old intermediate or a 6-year-old novice, first time at the track, something you can get on and fall in love with the sport. Then you can get the next bike that's the a little bit level up, and then you go on from there. Like, we don't have a carbon bike at this point, but that's not to say we can't have that, right? Like, our aluminum bike's going to be as high end as it can be and as affordable as we can make it. And then we're going to hopefully go from there. But our goal is to just get as many people on bikes and share our passion about two wheels, really.
When Huffy's designing, they're specing a bike, and do you have feedback on what's spec'd on the bike as the brand manager, or do you have that, like, if they put like a crappy set of tires on, or a crappy grip, can you say, wait, hold on, guys, we need to do a different grip or different tire setup or something like that? Do you have input, or no?
No, I have input on, I don't want to say all things, but a lot of things. I went over to China, to our factories last October. I went over for the Freestyle World Cup in Shanghai, but our one of our factories was only like 2 hours away. So I ended up going up there and checking out everything. It was super cool. I posted a video on it, so you could see that on Instagram somewhere. But yeah, I was able to, like, I'm working closely with our not brand manager. What is he? I'm brain farting right now. Mike Gons. What is that?
Okay.
Product manager. So I work closely with him. I talk to him every single day. Whether it's text, team meetings, blah blah blah. So yeah, I work closely. He runs almost everything by me. Like, hey, this pedal, that, blah 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 blah. So yeah, I have a little bit of input, and I'm able to express, like, that's not going to work for the kids that are coming to the tracks, or those tires. We're not really on dirt tracks anymore, so we can't be having super knobby tires. You know what I mean? So, like, I do get a little bit of input. I'm one of the only BMX brains at Huffy, like I said. So my input is trusted, which is nice. So yeah, they kind of bring me in with all things that go along through BMX.
It's so weird because I've been watching the sport for so long, and I've seen things evolve over time, obviously. And we had Stu Thompson on pretty recently, and Stu was factory Huffy. And at the time, Stu was like the man. He was like the biggest BMX star there was at the time. And we asked him about that. Man, was it hard for you to go to Huffy? I think Kevin said, I mean, you went to Huffy, you left Redline, but he had these crazy marketing. He was behind all the marketing campaigns, and he was in department stores doing autographs, and he did a lot of national commercials for Huffy. So it's kind of cool from my perspective and Kevin's, where we can see it coming back, because we lost too many brands, with GT gone, Redline gone. So to see something like Huffy come back, it's very, very cool. And I hope that's a trend that continues, that we bring back some of these other brands.
Yeah, I mean, even from.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, even for me, like, I saw Huffy in the late 90s, early 2000s, like. They were the trailer that I was going to because they had the coolest swag. They had the biggest setup, like, yeah. And then when they left and bankrupt and so on and so forth, that's just, they had done that in the 80s too. And so I'm just really hoping that we could just keep this going and, do a good enough job at building consistently that it's not like, let's dump a bunch of money into it and, it's not doing good, to see you later. Like, I want this to be, I want Huffy to be around as long as I'm around, right? Like, if I can continue working for Huffy for the next 15, 20 years, doing what I get to do and sharing the sport the way that I love to, because they give me that freedom, right? Like, I don't have to go into the office every day and sit at the computer. Like, I could, when I'm driving, I could set my team's meeting up, right? When I'm driving, I got 1,000 miles to drive today. Like, I can do all my things. So for a company of that size to be able to give me the freedom to do what I do because they trust what I'm doing is massive. You know what I mean? So right. having the backing, and then having them trust me, to help carry the name in the sport and even in freestyle too, because that's pretty new to me too. But we all share a lot in common, and I know a lot of those freestyle guys just from being kind of a fan and being in and out of the, not out of the world, but in the world just as a fan, and knowing some riders through being old racers. Or we had Dennis Anderson, Chad Curley on our race team when they were little kids. So I've kind of been plugged into it. And if it would have been my choice, I probably would have gone to the freestyle as a kid. I wasn't given that choice, so I just did as good as I could at racing. What
What team was Chad Curley on?
What? Sorry?
What team did Chad Curley race for?
Chad rode. So my dad, we had a team. We started. I'll say it again in the documentary. You'll see it. But no, so when we first started racing, we got offered like a bike shop team deal from the local shop. Blah blah blah. My dad's like, we're not gonna pay $35 for a jersey. We'll just make our own team. So that's how my dad started a team, and I rode for that team my entire amateur career. He's still the team manager now for the LSG and Send It teams. He's been team managing a team for 28 years, and I've been racing for 29.
Got it. Because Chad, you're from San Diego, and so is Chad, right?
Yeah, so Chad, I was actually chatting with Chad a little bit earlier today. He posted a video doing a tail whip in his backyard with slides on, and it was bananas. But yeah, I grew up with him and Dennis. They raced at Cactus Park and Kearney Moto Park when we were kids, and my dad had our team. It was called Phantom Bikes at the time, and so we picked him up as, I think Chad was maybe 6 or 7 when we picked him up and had him for a few years before he went to Avent, Bombshell, and then on to Hyper, I believe. And then Dennis, same. We had Dennis from the time he was like 8 or 9 till like 13. And then he was just doing X-ups and kickouts in his races. And my dad was not a fan of it, or he'd go ride the drainage ditch by the track and his back wheel would be tacoed. And my dad's just like, just go do some freestyle, man. Like, this is what you want to do. And he took it as far as he could doing that as well.
That's so cool that you said this, because I have a little bit of experience in the freestyler. I had a bike shop, and I used to ride a PB. I've seen Chad and Dennis on a PB a couple times.
Yeah,
with my sons, and dude, like, I gotta think that would be a major challenge to incorporate Huffy into the freestyle game now. Do you see that as being a challenge to try to get these guys on a Huffy, or are you optimistic that you can increase the Huffy name in the freestyle market?
It has been challenging, and I'll be a little transparent. It has been a tougher market to break into, and we knew that was going to happen. But I think we've got some awesome riders on our bikes. You could watch their videos and see that they're putting these bikes through the mill. These bikes are tested. No matter what name it's got on it, you could ride this bike and you could jump off a 2-story roof if you wanted to. More than likely, it's not going to break off. Don't quote me, but we've seen it from our riders. So, I think people were weary about that because of Huffy's. They got rocket bikes at Walmart for $94. Like, we know what we have there, and we have bikes like that for a reason, for customers that are looking for bikes like that, right? But the people that are looking at the sledgehammers are the riders that are serious riders, and we're 100% confident in that frame and the riders that we have on those bikes. And yeah, there has been hurdles because of the name, but nothing to do with the bike. Our products are super sound.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen it all on social media. They look pretty sick. I think it's awesome. Yeah.
So,
your involvement with the Send It, though? Oops, sorry, Kevin.
Huh?
I was going to ask him. He mentioned Send It. Is that, you said your father was involved with that team?
My dad runs the team, yeah. So Toby Henderson owns Send It, but my dad runs the factory Send It team.
Yeah, because our sponsor is Cindy Partee, and I think she created the kits for Send It, and then she did, I know, and she's making our kits too. So that's pretty cool. There's a connection right there. Kevin, you missed that.
I missed it, dude. And the documentary, I missed that too.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man. I don't have anything else for him unless you guys want to. If you have more questions, Kev, you can go for it.
No. I got my freestyle question out, and I got my Huffy questions answered. So I'm happy, man.
Yeah, hey, let's do that. I got 9%. I got 9%. So if you had those
let's go.
Trivia questions, let's do that.
All right.
I don't want his battery to die. That would be horrific. Okay, this is a real quick. This is how the game works. You can pick pop culture, or you can pick BMX as your topic. I'll ask you a question. You get it right, it's your point. If you miss it, Kevin can steal it. Vice versa. That's it. It's pretty simple. Whoever gets the most wins. Okay.
All right, Nick goes first. Go.
All right, Nick, you're the guest. Go ahead.
BMX.
Here we go, BMX. In 2001, Robbie Miranda raced for Free Agent, Redline, or DK Bicycle. DK, there you go. Kevin, what do you want to do?
Pop culture.
What company made the first iPod in 2001?
Apple.
Apple, that was an easy one. That's your only easy one, buddy.
Underhand.
All right, Nick.
I like BMX.
All right. In 2001, Craig Reynolds raced for Mongoose, Haro, or GT.
Mongoose.
Mongoose is the correct answer. Nick knows his BMX. All right, Kev.
I just forgot when he went to his Reynolds racing.
I think that was.
I don't remember if that was before or after.
Yeah, I think that was prior to that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What do you want, Kev?
Pop culture.
Who sang the song "Yeah" in 2004? Usher, 50 Cent, or Nelly?
Usher.
Usher. Look at Kevin, my old ass friend.
I love that damn song, man.
All right, Nick.
BMX.
In 2001, this is true or false, Stephen Murray wins the Gold Cup at the X Games. True or false?
The gold medal, you mean?
Yeah, gold medal. Sorry. Trying to go fast.
X Games in 2001. Shit, 2001 might have been. No, I think 2000 was San Diego. I think I went to that one. 2001. False.
It is true. I can't let Kevin see if it's a true or false. It is true.
Damn it.
All right, Kevin.
BMX.
That was the year that he got it. Maybe he stole it from Corey, or maybe Corey won. Or there's a video or controversy like Corey thought he won, and then they gave it to somebody else. I don't remember. No, that was Nyquist. Never mind. So sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, I found it.
Corey Nastasio?
Thank God
Yeah,
I kept
Nastasio.
World BMX magazines. That's the only thing that's keeping me relevant right now. Just to kind of catch up those things. All right.
All right.
All right. Let's see. Kevin, what do you want? Pop culture? Okay. What social media site launched in 2004? Facebook, MySpace, or Twitter?
MySpace.
MySpace? Kevin! Let's go, dude. Hey, Nick, I told him, Nick's going to kick your ass, dude, so I'm going to make it multiple choice, but he was like, I got this.
Oh, he's killing it.
Yeah. All right, Nick, what do you got?
BMX again.
All right. Finish this product name. Blank Shoe Company USA.
I would say DC Shoe Company USA.
DC Shoe Company, right on. All right. Kev, you ready?
BMX.
In 2001, Bubba Hayes raced for Redline, Sun, or Supercross.
Sun.
Oh, here's your chance, Nick. What is the answer?
What year was it, were you saying?
2001.
And what were the teams? Was he on the 2001? I don't know if he was on.
Did he race for Redline, Sun, or Supercross?
Out of those choices, I would pick Redline, but I don't know if he was on Redline in 2000. When did he win his titles? 2. Oh, so yeah, Redline. He got. I think that might have been like almost his first year pro, either 2000 or 2001. So yeah, Redline. Sorry.
Redline is the correct answer. All right. I thought you were going to talk yourself out of it, Nick, and people have done that before.
Well, I was just trying to think. I knew it wasn't any of those other ones because he was on Answer before he was on Redline, but I just couldn't remember if he was on Redline in 2001.
Yeah, he was all over. He had hell of Redline ads. He was all over.
I'm still stuck on the Craig Reynolds on Mongoose.
Yeah.
When we talked to Craig, did we talk about Mongoose? No.
We did not. And there was a big ass ad of him racing on Mongoose, and I'm like, this dude didn't even mention Mongoose.
At least he didn't have a documentary.
Oh man, dude, we're gonna have to get T-shirts that just say "Watch Nick's documentary." All right, Kev.
All right, BMX.
BMX. Okay. In 2001, dirt jumper Corey Anastasio rode for what team?
I already know it, but go ahead.
It's Huffy, Diamondback, or Haro?
Huffy.
Huffy. I got a bonus question, Kev. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What was his nickname?
Nasty.
Oh. Kevin, high five, dude.
High five.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe you knew that.
Hey guys, Danny Pena over at the BMXPERTS Podcast, along with Kevin Wilson, the founder and producer of the show. Hey, we want you guys to take the time to check out our website. It's under www.bmxpertspodcast.com. Kevin's put a lot of work and energy into creating the website, and of course he's the creator of the show, and we're definitely jumping into the merch game more. So we have some of the newest gear out right now. As you can see, the BMXPERTS Podcast hat there and the latest t-shirts. This is the stuff Kevin and I have been wearing on the show recently, and we're really anxious to get some of this merchandise out. If you're interested, please go to the website, place your order, and Kevin will get you all hooked up. We got more stuff that's in the works. Kevin's always at the drawing board there, trying to come up with some more ideas for the show. We definitely appreciate all the support you guys have been giving us as the show continues to grow, pick up more momentum, and we're picking up a lot of great guests over the last couple months. It's been super exciting to see the progress of the show. But anyway, as I mentioned, please check out the website, take a look at it. You can see us on YouTube, BMXPERTS Podcast, and we'll see you guys out there. Have a great day.
Dude, he had a TV show.
Fun fact, Corey was at my wedding.
He was at your wedding?
Yep.
My kids watched it all the time. And when I interviewed Jason Donnell, he told me a story about how him and Corey had factory Huffy unlimited credit cards, and Corey got busted for running up the limit on the Huffy credit card.
I don't have a credit card. He was ahead of me.
All right, Nick, what do you want to try?
I'll stick with BMX. I like testing myself what I think I know.
All right. BMX debuted in the Olympics in what year?
08.
08 it is. All right. It's 5-5, guys. Kevin, I'm proud of you right now, dude. If he kicks your ass from this point forward, I'm still proud of you, dude.
BMX.
All right, here we go. In 2001, the Foster brothers were sponsored by what shoe company?
Airwalk.
Airwalk. Good one. Nah. All right. Okay, Nick.
BMX.
Here we go. 2001. What was the name of Dave Mirra's video game? Was it Dave Mirra 2 Freestyle BMX, Dave Mirra's Freestyle World, or Dave Mirra BMX?
Oh, what year?
2001. Available on your PlayStation 2.
Shit, I'm gonna just say the first Dave Mirra then.
You got it. Dave Mirra 2 Freestyle BMX was the name of the game. That gives Nick 6. It's tied up again. Kev, what do you want to do?
Pop culture.
Pop culture. Here we go. All right. Who hosted Fear Factor in 2001? Was it Joe Rogan, Ryan Seacrest, or Carson Daly?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan with hair.
Yeah, it was Joe Rogan with hair. All right, Nick.
BMX still.
You're sticking to it. All right.
Yeah.
2001, Christophe Levesque had a monster contract with Iron Horse, Trek, or Specialized?
Specialized.
Specialized. Good job. All right, Kev, what do you want?
BMX.
I feel like I'm trying to beat Nick's freaking battery right now, so I'm going fast.
You're good. I'm at 5 right now.
All right, we're doing good. Okay. All right, who was the Factory Elite Pro on Nerve in 2001 besides Dale Holmes? Are you ready? Yeah. Was it Kyle Bennett, Danny Nelson, or Tomas Allier?
My brother designed the bikes. Danny Nelson.
Oh, what do you think, Nick? Can you steal it?
Yeah, it was the first one you said.
Kyle Bennett. Kyle Bennett was that.
Yeah, I don't know why that brain farted that, but yeah, the other two guys rode for Giant.
There you go. There you go. All right. So,
damn it. Go ahead. All right.
I got a Kyle Bennett tattoo, actually.
There you go. All right, it's your turn again, Nick.
You won't take a picture with him, but you got his tat.
I might have a photo with him, but it wouldn't have been like a
a fan.
Hey, I met Kyle Bennett today. It was probably I got this. I did a pretty wild Columbia trip with Kyle Bennett after Grands one year, and we'll keep those stories to ourselves.
Got it.
There you
go.
go.
All right, who's Nick's turn?
Nick's turn. He got the steal.
BMX still.
Okay. In 2001, Alan Foster, Factory Airwalk. But what was the bike sponsor in 2001? Was it Schwinn, Free Agent, or Mongoose?
Pretty sure it's Free Agent.
And you are correct, my sir. That gets you to 8. And you know, this is early 2000s. Let's go, Kev. It's 8 to
This is when I was
8.
that kid standing on the fence, like watching everything.
There you go. How was that adult from the pop culture? Okay, here we go. What MTV show featured crazy stunts and pranks in 2001? Real World, Punk'd, or Jackass?
Jackass.
Jackass is the correct answer. All right, moving on. Okay, Nick.
BMX still.
The BMX. Okay. In 2001, Woody Itzen was the freestyle manager for what team? Was it GT, Diamondback, or Hutch? I didn't even know. I didn't know he was still
involved.
Yeah.
And what year is this?
2001. My dog just jumped down, and she's only 3 pounds. Hey, Alyssa.
Oh man, I don't even know. I don't know if Hutch was around, and from what I remember in 2001, at least not like a team or anything like that. But I also don't know the name Woody Itz, so this one's gonna just be a guess. So what was it? Was it
GT, Diamondback, or Hutch?
In the 2001, I think the team manager for Diamondback was Richard Hoovard in 2001, maybe. I'm gonna try that Woody one.
Okay, so what do you think?
Woody
you think
it's
well, that's the guy.
Oh, what team are you running? I guess let's try Hutch because.
No, it's a miss. Kevin, do you have any idea?
Diamondback.
GT was the correct answer. Now, Woody Itzen goes way back to the early 80s, and I did not know he was still involved with BMX. I just happened to read it in the magazine. I'm like, oh, wow, he was still involved.
All right.
So was that just freestyle team manager? Is that what you said?
Just freestyle, yeah, just freestyle.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't have had any idea. I think the team manager for the race side for GT back then was Todd Corbett. I remember begging to try to be on the team when I was like 11 expert.
Wow. Man, he was 11 years old in 2001, Kev. How old do you feel right now?
Yeah, I turned 12 then.
I feel old, man.
Pop culture? All right. I think yeah, we still have plenty of these. Okay.
I got 3%.
Oh, 3%. All right. What do you think, man? Maybe we do 2 more each?
Yeah, let's do 2 more. Hit it.
Let's do 2 more questions. Okay. What early video website launched in 2005? Was it YouTube, Twitch, or Vimeo?
YouTube.
YouTube launched. All right. Okay. It's tied up right now. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. Kevin's got 10. You've got 8. Let's see if you can tie them. Okay. You ready?
Hit it.
All right. Let's go. We're going to go. I know you want BMX, so I'm not going to kid myself. I'm going to give you the last 2 BMX questions. Okay. Here we go. How old was Randy Stumphauser when he won the 2009 ABA title?
33.
Oh, Kevin, can you steal it?
34.
Oh, what shit?
No, both wrong. He was 32. You were so close. You both danced. All right, one more. Let's do one more before his phone dies. Okay.
All right, go for it.
Yep.
Damn.
Tomas Allier won the 2000, NBL title and the 2000 UCI World title for what factory team?
GT.
GT. All right. We did it. Kevin wins by 1, 10-9. We still had questions. I did not want to lose Nick in the middle of the show. So, hey, thanks, Nick, man. We appreciate you coming on and playing the game. And
good job, hey, Nick. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. So, if anybody wants to are interested in picking up a Huffy, everything's on the website, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a lot on the website right this second. We only have, as far as BMX bikes, we got one HX Pro complete bike and then a cruiser option. Our bikes aren't out just yet. Our Primus frame should be launching this summer. I don't want to say a date and be wrong. I'm going to say beginning of June to be safe. And then our line of complete bikes, the Pro Lightnings, should be available just after that. I want to say August, but I might get my ass kicked for saying something wrong too. So, but yeah, that'll be on the site here soon. If anybody's got any other questions or wants any discounts on anything from Huffy, have them send me a message, an email. Contact me through Instagram or Facebook, and I usually reply pretty quick.
You got to tell them to take the kickstands off the website, dude.
Yeah, some people need those kickstands, man.
Yeah. I love the fact that they're going to bring back the Pro Lightning. When he said that, I was like, oh, wow, I haven't heard that.
The name, dude. They kept the name.
I love it.
Are you guys going to bring back the Sigma?
We got the Primus. We got back two old names, so we'll see what we got. I mean, we got a laundry list of names we can use, so we'll see what we got to use.
Awesome,
man. Nice.
Thanks a lot, Nick, man. I really appreciate your time.
Bro.
Thanks, guys. You too. Bye.
We did it, Kev. That was our youngest guest ever. Bang.
Dude, man. I did a great job until I misheard that Chad Curley and Dennis Anderson were on the team.
No, you did great, man. You asked as many questions, if not more, than I did. So that was I could tell you were having a good time. I'm like, let's go, dude. Keep going.
See, I can relate to the freestyle edge, the freestyle current.
Yeah.
More than I can the race, obviously more than the race. And you don't have no idea what we're talking about with freestyle, right? You have no idea who Dennis Anderson is or Chad Curley, right?
I just follow the racing, and that's I stay on top of it as much as I can, and that's why names and things sound familiar. And I've seen a lot of races. I think I've always been an average racer, but a great fan, if that makes sense. And I keep tabs on everything, and that helps a lot for the show. And I was so excited to see Nick come on. I was like, wow, this is awesome, because Nick's still very relevant in the BMX world, and not that any of the other guests aren't, but I just thought it was a huge step for us tonight to bring Nick on, and we got more to come, right?
We had two names that we talked about are hopefully gonna be on the show. They're scheduled, right?
Yeah.
In this show, I'm not gonna say who it was, but two names that were mentioned are coming up in the near future.
Speaking of which, if you want to come on the show, man, please reach out to Shane Wimberly. He's available on Facebook, and Kevin could probably put his name on the screen here or something like that. And
I'll put a picture of him like something stupid. But
there you go. Yeah, we're looking good through. I think we're towards the end of April now, booked up. I think, but we'll make room. And sometimes there's cancellations. So if we can get a roster of people that are willing to come on, and we have an availability, we can always move you up. So I'm actually really excited with what's been going on. Great job for Shane, by the way.
Well, I'm sorry, what was that?
I said great job to Shane. He's the one that got Nick on the show for us, and he's doing his job, Mr. Shane, executive producer of BMXPERTS Podcast.
Yeah, we have a possible new sponsor coming on. I'm not going to mention the name, but I asked for your address today because the new sponsor wants to send us some product for us to test out.
Okay,
so you will be getting product in the mail in the near future to test out this new sponsor that wants to come on board.
Speaking of sponsor, please go check out Cindy Partey's website for all your gear needs. And what's the name of the website again, Kev?
SkewedRacewear.com.
SkewedRacewear.com. She's a active BMX racer and makes awesome products, and we definitely want to push that product hard. So if anything, please just go visit her website and see what her ability is. She can do a lot.
Yeah. And Huffy.com, you can look at it, and the bikes have kickstands, which my only thing, they have kickstands on them. I don't know why that bothers me, dude. But
reach out to Nick Long on Instagram and Facebook, and Nick NIC, not with a K.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to get you. He'll get you that live connection to Huffy. And I did mention Mike Rodriguez and Crit Plates. Please go visit the Crit Plate site because he was a guest, and we definitely loved having him on. So I want to see more people using Crit Plates. And I don't even have a Crit Plate. I got to get a Crit Plate.
So what else you? I saw this. You did a video on your bike rack. What I haven't watched it. What is it? What's all that about?
Recently when I bought my car, it had a trailer hitch on the car. And, you know, I have a Dodge Challenger, so I'm like, I didn't buy this car to tow anything. So when I first saw it was on the car, I'm like, oh, I'm going to take that off immediately. But I wanted that car because I wanted that specific color of that car, and I found it in, I think it was North Sacramento. It was way out there. And anyway, I thought to myself, I go, well, wait a minute, maybe I can get a bike rack that'll fit on there. And I found the simplest bike carrier ever. It just slides right in to the hitch, and it's just Kev, it's just shaped like an S. You know, and you just snap it in, and the bike just sits on the cradle. The video is only 5 minutes long, but it gives you some idea of some options for carrying your race bikes.
Okay.
You know, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those on my truck for many years.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, the same hitch rack or whatever. Yeah.
There's a lot of options out there, man. I wanted to get the platform one, but my car sits so low. I was like, I'm going to scrape that anytime I'm going to back up out of a curve, you know, out of a driveway or something. So that's why I had to go for a different alternative. But there's a lot of bike racks. Man, the Sea-Sucker bike racks are amazing. I don't know if you've ever seen those, Kevin. They're just suction cups that stick to the top of your car.
Yeah.
And yeah, those things are pretty amazing too.
I like 3 years ago, my wife got me a
Uh-oh, you're frozen. Well, at least Kevin got frozen after the show was over. Come on, Kev. If he doesn't come, oh, there you are. Your wife got you what?
They're unopened. They're just. I still have to put the damn thing on my car, but I have a set.
Okay, you got to repeat.
They were like $300 or something. Then
you got to repeat everything you said up to my wife got me because you froze.
Oh, okay. My wife got me a Sea-Sucker bike rack for Christmas one year.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah, and it's just sitting in my garage. I've never put it on my car.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't. It's like $300 for this thing. It wasn't cheap.
Yeah, even for the single, I think you have the single one that'll hold one bike. It's like $300. Yeah. Some guy offered to give me his for free, dude, and it held 3 bikes. Yeah, Yeah, that was part of the video. He had messaged me on Facebook Messenger, and he goes, "Hey man, I'm not going to use this anymore. So if you want it, you just come get it." And I basically told him, I go, "Dude, I would feel real guilty just taking that for free because I know the single one's $300. So if he's got the one that holds 3 bikes, that had to be at least $1,000, I think." So I was like, "Yeah, I don't want to take advantage of you like that." And he said, "Well, if you can want to give me any money for it, you can, but it's just here if you want it." And I haven't gone to go get it.
Hey, so how many subscribers are you up today?
I had 1,010, and then I lost one this morning for some weird reason. So I'm back to 1,009.
Okay.
How are we doing on the show right now? Do you know?
12:57.
12:57.
12:57. Yeah. As of the taping this episode, 12:57. Yeah, we lost one.
If we get once we get Nick's stuff out, we're going to be hitting a different audience, so that should help us subscriber wise. At least I'm thinking.
Yeah. Hopefully we didn't. You know what? Looking back on it, maybe I was kind of too many questions on the pro type of thing. In hindsight, maybe we should have just left it alone with like 2 or 3 questions. I felt like I was beating the horse a little too much.
No, he didn't. If he told us at the beginning, if he didn't want to answer it, he wasn't going to answer the question. Because remember, I asked him, I go, "Is there anything off limits you don't want us to talk about?" And he said, "You can ask me anything you want. If I don't want to answer it, I won't answer it." So he kept it pretty clean.
I was trying to ask the Huffy questions lightly, dude. I thought for sure you were going to hammer me like, "Oh, Kevin was talking shit about Huffy."
I just watched the video. It was me, you, Shane, and Nick DeSanti. Yeah. And you said Huffy rears its ugly head again. And I was going to say that, but I'm like, I don't want to throw Kevin under the bus.
Oh, man. I think we played it pretty well.
I love that they're bringing back those old names, dude. When he said Pro Lightning and I was like, that's so cool that I never really wrote a Huffy. I wrote a Kent, which is basically a Huffy. But when he was bringing up these names, I was like, oh, that's so cool that they're trying to keep it kind of legit, taking it all the way back. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, too bad they don't have bikes on the website. They have some bikes, and I saw that cruiser that he's talking about. It's only $326, I think, for a race cruiser.
For a race cruiser, that's cheap, dude. That'll get you on the track at least.
Depends what kind of quality, but yeah. But I do have a bike, so I don't need that cruiser. But
oh no, you're gonna ride the felt.
Yeah, and that's about it for me, dude. Do you have anything you want to talk about else, or
please like and subscribe on my channel, Danny Pena BMX Racing on YouTube. A lot of magazine reviews, race reviews, all BMX content all the time. I'm doing pretty good. I dropped a video the other day. I'm trying to get back to doing 4 a month. I've been kind of slow on it because I've been focusing a lot on this, but I'm dropping reels almost every day on the channel, and I keep finding interesting things to make reels out of. And
you brought something up, dude.
Yeah.
There's a certain person on Facebook that emulates you very closely.
Who's that?
We've already talked about it.
Oh yeah. Well,
they're getting, dude. You are inspiring people, dude. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I saw some similar stuff. I'm like, hey, that looks a little familiar.
There's some other website. There's some other podcast that's doing random comparisons, right? Don't say his name. Don't say his name.
I won't say the name, but I was listening to it on Spotify, and they were absolutely doing random comparisons, and I'm like, hey, that's Kevin and I's stick. But hey, what's the purest form of flattery, man? It's someone's copying you. So it is what it is, man. It's all fun, dude. I like. There's a lot of good shows out there, and I listen to a lot of other podcasts and YouTube channels, mainly to keep myself fresh on what's going on. But I also like to see how they handle their show. I'm like, there's a lot of guys do some great stuff out there, man. There's some high production value stuff that Kevin and I don't really care too much about. We just want to put on a good show and make people laugh, and that's it.
All right, everybody. So we want from Dan and I, thank you very much for sticking with us. We hope you enjoyed the show, and I can guarantee you this, that moving forward, we're going to have monster guests. So if you like what you see, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel, you go to BMXPERTSPodcast.com. And I won't belabel the merch name because we have a new merch commercial that's probably already run in this video. But until next week, I think that's it. Until next week, the track is closed. Peace out, man.
See you, brother.
Thanks, Danny.